but I hardly think that they will ever go to a mysterious place as directed by a mysterious bottle.
Yeah, after that, I'd call it quits, bro. The Little Glass Bottle is a short 5 to 10 minute adaptation of a story by Howard Phillips Lovecraft, written when he was about 7 years old. Original works and spelling have been kept. Profits from all DLCs are donated to humanitarian aid organizations. Click for more information. Thank you for your support.
Heave to! There's something floating to the leeward.
Leeward. I don't see anything.
The speaker was a short, stockily built man whose name was William Jones. He was the captain of a small catboat in which he and a party of men were sailing at the time the story opens.
Party of men? It's just him and Burrow. During the game, you will encounter interactive elements. Some of them will allow you to continue your journey. Others will reveal interesting facts about the original short story, its historical background, and the author. Some trivia is hidden. In order to find these secrets, focus your eyes and look for the Elder Sign. Okay, so there's like a piece of paper in the book somewhere, I guess. Nope, nothing. Alright.
Aye, aye, sir, answered John Towers, and the boat was brought to a standstill. Captain Jones reached out his hand
For an object which he now discerned to be a glass bottle.
Nothing but a rum flask that the men on the passing boat threw over, he said. But from an impulse of curiosity, he reached out for it.
Let me grab it. There we go.
It was a rum flask, and he was about to throw it away when he noticed a piece of paper in it. He pulled it out, and on it read the following.
What you got?
January 1st, 1864. I am John Jones, who writes this letter. My ship is fast sinking with the treasure on board. I am where it is marked on the enclosed chart.
Alrighty.
Captain Jones turned the sheet over, and the other side was a chart.
Indiana Ocean. Oh, Indian Ocean. Australia.
On the edge were written these words. Dotted lines represent course we took. Towers, said Captain Jones excitedly. Read this. Towers did as he was directed. I think it would pay to go, said Captain Jones. Do you? Just as you say, replied Towers. We'll charter a schooner this very day, said the excited captain. All right, said Towers.
We're gonna go find the One Piece! I think. Hello? I'm blind, don't mind me. So yeah, don't mind me, I'm blind as hell.
So they hired a boat.
Yep. Let's see if we got any extra information. There we go. One of Lovecraft's favorite children's games was creating complex scenes using building blocks, models, tin soldiers, and clouds of earth. With their help, he played out various historical scenarios. These events were sometimes short-lived. They represented a war, a plague, or simply a thrilling spectacle of travel, commerce, or some event that led nowhere. But sometimes they spanned long eons, reflecting changes in the appearance of the landscape of war buildings. H.P. Lovecraft to Vernon Shea, November 8th, 1933. It is especially interesting to consider his later writing career. There was a kind of intoxication in being the lord of a visible world, albeit a miniature one, and determining the flow of its events. It was not his only childhood pastime. He enjoyed riding a bike. He received for his 10th birthday so much that years later he described himself from that period as veritable bicycle centaur. Huh. That's cool.
It started off governed by the dotted lines of the chart.
Come aboard and bring along all your hopes and dreams. Together we find everything that we're looking for. One Piece, compass left behind. H.P. Lovecraft learned fascination with science. H.P. Lovecraft learned to read at the age of 4. He quickly became interested in the exact sciences, especially chemistry. As a 9-year-old, he even started publishing his own amateur magazine, the Scientific Gazette. In some later, the series The Chemistry. Around 1900, Future Master Ford developed an interest in Antarctica and began writing Around 1900, the future Master of War developed an interest in Antarctica and began writing treatises on expeditions to the continent. This undoubtedly influenced one of his famous works, The Mountains of Madness, written 30 years later. As a 12-year-old, Lovecraft discovered astronomy, which he later considered his most moving experience. Realizing the immensity of the cosmos had a huge impact on his worldview and work, laying the foundations for the cosmic horror genre. The majesty of the concept of an expanding universe still makes me shudder in a unique manner. A Confession of Unfaith, 1922.
In 4 weeks, they reached the place where directed. And the divers went down.
Selection at my line. Got the fish in the ground, I guess. What's that down there? Yeah, buddy. We getting there. Eyes. Grandpa, what are you doing down here? Whipple Van Buren Phillips, Lovecraft's grandfather, a very important figure in his life, as the writer has said himself. Whipple Van Buren Phillips, Lovecraft's grandfather, was a very important figure in his life. As the writer said himself, my beloved grandfather became the center of my universe, in selective letters. Van Buren Phillips introduced his grandson to various works of art. He brought from his travels, exchanged letters with him, and helped him develop his passions. He largely replaced Lovecraft's dead father. Interestingly, he also cured him of his fear of the dark by encouraging to walk through a series of dark rooms. Young Howard's grandfather was probably the only family member to tell Lovecraft improvised mystery tales, which undoubtedly influenced his later work. We had a paddle from a paddle boat. Or, stopwatch. Or pocket watch. Am I looking for something? I'm going back up. Okay.
And came up with an iron bottle. They found in it the following lines scribbled on a piece of brown paper.
What you got for me this time?
December 3rd, 1880. Dear Searcher, excuse me for the practical joke I have played on you. But it serves you right to find nothing for your foolish act.
Wow,
Well, it
came
does,
all this freaking way.
said Captain Jones. Go on. However, I will defray your expenses to and from the place you found your bottle. I think it will be $250, so that amount you will find in an iron box. I know where you found the bottle because I put this bottle here.
Wow.
And the iron box. And then found a good place to put the second bottle. Hoping the enclosed money will defray your expenses some I close.
$250? It's ridiculous.
Anonymous.
There are a few puzzling elements in the glass bottle. For example, the number 25.0.00 is not a typo, as this amount appears in the text 3 times. It is not entirely clear why Lovecraft decided to write out the number this way, or what he meant by it. While publishers and translators interpret the various ways, in our opinion, it is most likely meant to be $250. The map used in the game replicates the original version drawn by Lovecraft for this story. Did you notice that the land marked on the sign? Did you notice that the land marked on it is signed as Australia? A simple typo, or maybe young Howard already creating his own lands and unknown islands in his imagination. It is also puzzling that the dates and letters in both bottles are almost 17 years apart. I noticed that part.
I'd like to kick his head off, said Captain Jones. Here, diver, go and get the $250.
Yeah, I don't think an entire freaking boat rental and crew and this dive suit's worth $250. But, okay.
In a minute, the diver came up bearing an iron box. Inside it was found $250. It defrayed their expenses, but I hardly think that they will ever go to a mysterious place as directed by a mysterious bottle.
Yeah, after that, I'd call it quits, bro. Oh, no, that was a sweet little story. Not very horrorish, horror. I don't know. But it was cute. Hope you enjoyed this little trip into the world of Lovecraft's childhood. We would appreciate it if you took your moment to leave feedback and check out the other games and DLCs. Yep, I think I got like one more DLC left. Alright. Go and call it quits.